All right, I'm back. Hopefully you guys are too. I don't know. I have no idea, Silverado. I have no idea what happened. It froze up. Now I'm back. So, as you can see, I've been adding clay the whole time. Um, Got to get this head right. You want to try and smooth it as much as you can too while you're doing it. Yeah, this is going to be so much better when it's all said and done. Waiting for people to come back. Hopefully they do. Yeah, see now when you're looking at it straight on, look how nice and even that's looking. Clay is so soft it's almost liquid. Oh yeah, Silverado. I'm retooling. I'm actually making it more accurate. Now that we have a lot more pictures of the flash of the screen used mask, I can really get it perfect. Um, it's just really difficult. This sculpture is a brutal to really get it accurate. How many people are three watching? Okay, you did come. Somebody just came back. I had 7 people on. I don't know if they're all going to come back. It's starting to get late, I guess. Yeah, it's. I'm afraid to touch the screen because I think that's what I did. I touched the screen and it literally froze up when I scrolled on the screen. So let's not do that again. I mean, on my tablet. Tablet's really finicky, man. What a pain in the ass. I need to get a good one. I bought a cheap one just so I can read comments, but I think I'm going to have to get a good tablet. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to blend this into the head here. If you know what I mean. You guys can't see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm blending this in right into the head. We don't need to add depth on the side there. Oh, can't hurt. And this is how it's done. Once the stuff stiffens up and it's nice and hard, then I'll do what they call a raking to it. I'll rake it. Trying to shape it the best I can right now, but it's lumpy, it's clumpy, but it'll all make sense. Gonna use quite a bit of this clay getting this thing right, that's for sure. And I can go for a cup of coffee, but I know if I do, I'll be peeing all night. Thank you, diabetes. What you really want to do is you want to make sure you put those seams together, because you see I'm smearing that into the other clay, because when you start raking on this, you don't want those chunks coming off. See how that's starting to look? And the head shape is nice. The raking is where it really starts coming together nice. That's all melded. I need it soft, but not that soft. Yeah, the reason why I'm retooling this again is because, I guess, I mean, I want to be able to get this thing perfect for next season. Hopefully the economy's better. And then I'm gonna, once I get this done, I'm gonna start working on making the 2018. This thing's not gonna take long. Getting this the way I want it. It's not going to take long at all. The face is almost done. I mean, once I get once I get the pictures out, and really, I want the ears to be more perfect too. I want the ears to really look good. But most importantly is making sure that this mask fits nice. That is so important. Okay, this looks like, okay, I got to throw a little more right in here. So now when I'm looking at it, I can see the dentations of where more clay is needed. That's already somewhat hard up there. All right, so let me give you a perfect view of the back of the head at the camera, so you guys can see it's shaped nice. Now I'm looking for little defects, nothing major, nothing that can't be raked out. Yeah, this is going to fit really nice now. Many people are on, say hello. There's only 3 watching and I'm one of them. So there's 2 people left on. There's 2 people on with us right now. Notice that I'm not adding any height to the top of the head. I'm working off the back of the head. The top of the head doesn't get any more clay up there because we want the eye cuts to line up with your face. You have to make sure that those eye cuts stay. This is measured perfectly. Just filling in a hole. If you put too much clay on top of the head, your eyes aren't going to line up in the eye cuts, in where your eyes are supposed to be. That's the problem with. Right, so now. Notice I'm using less and less clay as I go around this thing. I've come to realize that my favorite part of mask making is definitely sculpting. I really enjoy doing this. It's my favorite thing to do. I hate the mold making. I don't hate making the mask. I think that's because that's the end result. Is when you make a latex mask and then you paint it, and it gives you that. Okay, here's what you've been working so hard to create, and you're at the finish line, and that's satisfying. But then what happens is when you start making the mask where you're just making, a new mold of the master copy. In other words, you're not sculpting anymore. You're just replacing. You're just on the assembly line now, making the mask and painting it, making the mask and painting it, making the mask and painting it. And every once in a while, you have to make a new stone mold. That's it. That's the part that's boring as hell. So that's the problem with making masks. Once you really get it perfect, that way you just have to move on to the next project with sculpting anyway. And I can't wait to start making monsters, because when you're making monsters, just plain old anything goes monsters, you're not replicating, so you don't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. It just has to look good, whatever you're creating. You want it to look really magical and wild looking. And that's the goal. It's being creative. I love the fact when you're replicating, you're not being. I don't think you're being as creative as you think you are. It's harder because you're replicating, but there's no real creativity to it because you're replicating something that's already been done. So I'd rather do something that's my own, and can't wait to get to that point where I'm making my own masks. Who knows what I'm going to create? Wouldn't that be cool? Create new monsters. Reason why I'm taking my time bumping out the back of the head and really trying to refine the shape. This way I don't have to do a lot of raking. If I just plop, 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 plop and just, really make it rough and really don't try to shape it real well, at this point, I'll have to rake the hell out of this thing to get it to look good. To get it down the way it needs to be. Is anybody doing anything for Halloween? going to my brother's. I got to do some makeup for some people. And makeup's not really my thing. But pay me and I'll do anything, you know what I mean? Gonna do some trick-or-treaters, but I'm gonna go there a couple hours early and do this makeup job that has to be done to one of his friends that's a neighbor. He's also in the movie business, and he watches my videos, and he's like, man, what would it take to get you to come onto my set and work with, on movie with me? And I'm like, well, I'm too old, and I don't know if you guys know anything about working as a on the fly, because that's basically what you're doing constantly, and you have to be fast, and I'm not fast, so I can't, I just don't see myself doing movies, because you have to be there while they're shooting. Anything goes wrong, makeup, anything goes wrong, prop, anything goes wrong, whether it be animatronics or anything that you're doing. And that's not my specialty anyway, animatronics or any kind of stuff like that. I didn't go to school for any of this. I need to go to school for it. I wouldn't mind. I think I'm going to take the online course of Stan Winston's School of Art. That would be a real plus, just for fun. But see, I don't know. I like making masks. That's good enough for me. That is good enough for me, I think. Let's just make some masks, some cool masks. Oh, interesting. Got ghost in here, I guess. One of my things of hair fell off the shelf. Somebody's trying to let me know they're here watching with me. It's probably my cousin Joey, because he's a prankster. Or my brother Eddie, could be. He's a prankster too. Or a family of pranksters. My brother Eddie passed away in 2015. Cousin Joey in 2013. And when you lose your relatives and your siblings, you're really never the same. You're really never the same. Things change in your life. You don't have nobody to look to talk to. So cherish the moments that you have with your brothers, your sisters. I know we do a lot of fighting through the years. But I always said the more you fight, the more you love each other. And the reason why you fight is because you love each other. It's crazy to think about that way, but it is exactly what it is. I think that's the truth. And boy, when they're gone, you miss them. You miss them. What's happened in Silverado? You ever thought of doing a life-size Michael Myers? As a matter of fact, I have a mannequin in my room right now. I'm gonna, not in this room, it's in my living room. I put the suit on it, and it's gonna be in here in the next couple of days. I'm still working on the details with it. Still working on the details. Man, this needed to be done bad. So, you know, it's crazy. People have a lot of trouble, including myself, working on one side versus the other side of a head or a mask or whatever. Getting balance perfectly is almost impossible, because we have tendencies to lean to one side or the other, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. Give me an artist that can use both hands, and you got one dangerous artist. As long as the skills are okay. Almost there, guys. Almost got all the clay I need on here. Then it's just a matter of raking, which I won't do tonight, because stuff's got to get really hard. This has got to sit at least 24 hours for this to really firm up, be well stuck. Yeah, oh my God, that's just so much of a big difference. Big difference. Big difference. Now I'm going to have to widen this base too. sure it looks good. That's pretty much it. That's the back of the head. I have to smooth this out better. Where the two come together. I gotta get this out of the way a little bit. This is starting to really get hard now, so what you want to do is take the soft stuff, really bring it in where you want it. Make sure there's not a lot of lumps. Yeah, I got a mannequin. I'll show it to you in a minute. Because I'm almost done with the stream, so I might as well take the phone out there and I'll show you the mannequin. I can't wait to get this mask done so it has a new mask that'll look amazing on it. Why is it different? Okay. Just things that have to be done yet. Yeah, baby. That looks good. I won't be taking a lot of this clay off at all. I'll be taking just the surface out. Honing down the surface because I don't want to remove everything I just put on here. I just want to make sure that this is smoothed out. Now I'm going to take some little pieces of soft clay and fill any kind of, there's just little tiny holes. I can see dents. Just smooth it out. Just makes the smoothing process a lot easier if you get all the little tiny holes. Dent right there. Sorry for not talking. I'm just concentrating and trying to look at these low spots and little divots. Just trying to make my raking job a lot easier to do. So even though this is hard monster clay, it's still soft enough to really, while it's warm, it really takes a while for this to really cool down. To where you don't, to where you can't shape it with your hands. This hard monster clay, if it's not warm, you can't shape it with your hands. Medium clay is what Christopher Nelson likes to use, but I like to use I like to use the hard clay. It holds detail better. And I can tell you why he likes it really softer is because he's faster. The faster you are, the longer, things don't lay around too long. For things to go bad on you. In other words, you bang it, smack it, and then all of a sudden you gotta fix your sculpture. If it drops and it's soft, good night. You got a nightmare of a time trying to fix it. A little bit of a divot on the top of the head, but I can live with that. Fix it later. That's all going to change when I rake it. But that really has given me more depth to the back of the head. Significant amount of depth. This mask is going to fit so much nicer now, for sure. Now there's one thing I want to fix. This thing has been driving me nuts. There's this seam where I must have done a repair or something. I think I did a repair on this mask or on the sculpture. And I gotta fix it. All I have to do is rake that off because I pushed it into that crack real good. There's a crack in there. Oh, that nose looks so much better. Holy crap, that looks better. Got a lot of shaping to do here yet. Yeah, that looks good. Oh my God, that looks good. I got these eye cuts really nailed this time. Oh my God. That is a work of art. That looks really good. But I got a lot of smoothing to do. A lot of smoothing. Don't need this guy anymore. Or do I? Oh, I just realized what it is. My nose doesn't slant back like this one does. This one kind of goes back further. This one doesn't. I need my caliper. Because something just doesn't quite look right. Wow, big difference. Okay. Okay. And so that's something I have to fix. And that explains yep. That peak's got to come to there. Peak's got to come to there, which means that peak's got to come to there, which means the lip line does have to be moved. Okay, so I might as well get crazy. I might as well get crazy. First thing I gotta do is put the line. That's how the lip line has to be, but that's it. That looks better. All right, so here's the problem. If I bring this lip line What I'm doing is I'm bringing the lip line up higher. You'll see. Okay. That's starting to look a little better. Yeah, baby. That looks a lot better. But we're still a ways away. Yes, we are. Now I'm going to measure the take the caliper and measure this one more time. Top of that peak. There we are. That's what I'm talking about. That looks good. Now we're right on the money with the lips. That was very little adjustment. Very little. But I got a lot of shaping to do now with these lips. They're a mess. They're a mess. There it is. So who's still with me? Some of you guys went to bed? Wow, that's starting to look nice on that side. Wow, that's a big difference. Look at that, guys. Check out them lips. Chunky face, this is a flashback mask when it's finished. This is my original Ultra FB 78 called, stands for flashback FB. And there's a lot of things that are wrong with it, and I'm fixing all those things. The nose was too long. This is now shorter. The cheek lines were a little too prevalent, they were just too dominant. I'm cutting them back further. I'm just putting the right, just doing the right things to it to really bring it in. I'm really trying to refine this thing. See, the thing is, we get more and more pictures of it, so we can actually see how this mask was made. I can't wait. Very difficult sculpture to do. This is extremely hard. Anything you replicate's hard. I think anything. It doesn't have to be just a Michael Myers mask. It's anything that you replicate. Whenever you're trying to replicate anything, any kind of movie mask, whether it be Frankenstein, doesn't matter. They're very difficult to do. Especially if you're really trying to capture the accurate screen used, look. That's when it gets really difficult. So, and that's what we're after. We're after the flashback scene. We want it to look like the flashback mask in Halloween Kills, the opening scene. There's a lot of masks out there, and this is why everybody asks me, why don't you do a 78? Why don't you do a 78? Well, because there's a lot of really high quality masks out there that are already done. I mean, how many of these masks does everybody want to own? I mean, that's my concern is spend all that time sculpting a 78 and then, not really sell it because there's so many high quality 78s out there now. 10 years ago, you couldn't get a real good 78. There was only a few mask makers. Nick Mulpagano, who else? I don't know about NAG. I don't know if they were in business 10 years ago, but I'm just saying there was Holy Grail masks that everybody seeked. And there was very few other mask makers that were making an accurate copy of this mask. But now there's quite a few out there. Now you have Jimmy Falco. He's got a good mask. He's got a good 78. There's so many people out there that have a really good copy of this. I started doing the flashback because there wasn't a lot of people, and mainly because one of the viewers here, Pipe Master, hounded me. Yeah, man, you should do a flashback because, nobody's doing it. Nobody has one that's really good or accurate. And that's why I started out, that's why I went after this. I started going, trying to get this. Trying to do the flashback. But man, it's difficult because there were so limited pictures in the beginning. You were literally still shotting the movie, and that's really tough to get a real accurate. It's not a good way to do it. Let's just say that. this to get this. No, maybe not. I'm a ways off from finishing this bad boy. I'm probably at least a couple of months. Because I really, well, I'll say at least a month. At least a month before I really have this one ready for molding. And I'm going to change the ears a little bit. I want to taper them the right way, make them look good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, baby, that's it. That's what I was looking for. You know, believe it or not, a lot of this is done by feel. You know, you do use the tools a lot to sculpt it, but you really need to use your hands too to really get the feel of the shape. No pun intended. Pretty soon I'll be using some naphtha to refine this, but not tonight. But not tonight. See, the thing is, you see how much easier this is for me to get these lips now, because I understand them. Before, I couldn't understand what I was seeing. It was terrible because you didn't have the right angles. You couldn't see. But once I had these things figured out, then I was like, oh God, man, how can you overlook this? How did you get this so wrong? You know, you really beat yourself up because you're at the mercy of all these photographs that most times you don't get enough angles to really bring the sculpture in. That looks a lot better. That looks a lot better. But I'm a ways off. Remember, I'm seeking to make this perfect. I don't want to rush it. I definitely want this mask to really be. I want it to be nice. I'm going to fix this. This always bothers me. There's just like this sinkhole right in here. Get out of here. I just like to define these lips when I'm with my hands. Yeah, once you have these lips figured out, man, it's not real hard. Chin, jawline, all that's fine. I don't have to mess with that at all. Now, right now, I'm doing this all off memory. There's no photographs around me right now. I'm doing everything off memory. That's how you know you're really honed in. You're really close. You're really starting to know this mask. It just takes time. It takes time to, I'm. That's one thing I've noticed with my art is I'm able to recreate over and over again what I've been doing, even if it's wrong. I have these tendencies of doing it wrong until I figure it out. And then once I figure it out, then I don't forget. It's like riding a bike. You don't forget how to do it. And right now, all I'm trying to do is refine the things that I didn't like. Like these bumps were a little too bumpy, like they were too round right in here. So I'm kind of flattening them out a little bit and creating the way it's supposed to be. Very, very human-like. Yes, sir. And I still haven't really defined the scowl yet. That's going to get neat. That's going to take it. Hey, what's happening, Raphael? What's happening, buddy? I'm sorry I didn't look at the camera or look at the thing. So I'm doing it again. Yes, this is perfecting things to the Ultra. What I did is, if you notice, the Ultra didn't fit quite well enough on the 24-inch, the 24 and a half inch. So I added clay to the back of the head and I made it more level out. It bumps out further. There's about that much more clay. I'm going to say at least an inch of clay to the back of the head and the neck. And I leveled it out, as you can see. I covered up my custom corpses and everything, but that's okay. I need to make the head size perfect. But I'm defining the scowl. I don't have that deep V cut that was in there. I'm getting rid of that, and I'm making it more like the scowl is much. It's a little bit larger. It's going to be more defined. I'm actually defining the eyebrow too, the way it's supposed to look in here, where it dented and then comes into the scowl. That's how the screen used mask is. Mine was kind of bulging out, and it didn't look right. So, and I'm also I'm defining these cuts into the scowl. I had to change, I shortened the nose, widened the nose. If you look at the two, here they are side by side. This is the master copy. You can see how much better that nose looks on this. It's not nearly as long. And the eye cuts are a little they're changed just a slight little bit. More definition into where the lower eye and the upper eye come together, right in the crease here. Same on both sides. I had to reposition the lip line and brought that in real nice. I'm happy with this. I'm really happy with this. I think this is going to be a really, really accurate sculpture when this is done. I think we're really going to have it nailed. The slants are right. They're where they are. And how I know that is I have a picture of the screen, the screen used copy of a blank. It's a bust of the actual blank, and I think hold on, let me concentrate here. Put a little bit more clay in there. Because it doesn't look right there. This is going to be nice, man. This is going to be nice. I'm telling you, when I get this done, I'm really taking my time with this. I want to get this as perfect to the screen used mask as possible. I made the nose in this area here, both spots. See how like on this mask, you see how it doesn't go back into the nose? It just makes it look too round in here. It didn't look right, wasn't it? The nostril flare was not defined enough in here. See how much more I dug into that, and I really made that nostril really defined. And that's on both sides, as you can see. Raphael. Yes, I did change the cheeks. I brought the cheeks down. You really can't see it on this white mask, but it's really it's a large bump right there. I honed them down. They're definitely a lot lower. You still have definition with this cut in here. It just looks so much better. It looks so much better, and I'm not even near the finish line yet. But this isn't going to take that long. This sculpture is, you know, the majority of the things I wanted to change are on. They're in there. Let me see, do I have the depth right? Yes. The things I wanted to change are there. Now I'm going to define. I want these ears to look screen accurate. I kind of like. With ears, I kind of like, oh, does anybody really pay attention to ears? Yeah, they pay attention to every little nook and cranny. So I'm going to make it screen accurate, the ears. Wow, this is going to look good. I can't wait, man. This is really, I love that nose. That nose is on the friggin' money. The nostrils, even the holes in the nostrils are really nice. I mean, it just needs smoothing and everything. I still got to do a lot of naphtha work to this. But, man, we're going to have a really, really nice mask when this is all done. We should have a very screen accurate sculpture here. Really defining this nose. Really giving it that perfect look. I just, every time you do this sculpture, and as you can see, the lips are perfect. I mean, look how nice this drop down is, really nice. Same with this side. I just have to define those corners. I don't want a real large bump going up because it's not supposed to have a bump going up into here. It's more of a slant in here and on here, but nothing up top. And it creates a weird shadow if there's a bump going across here like that, above that. Even the slightest little one, even the slightest little bit, and when the light hits it, it definitely reveals it too much. So I'm working on getting that perfected. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The nose looks 1,000 times better. 1,000 times better. Just so much different. So much different. Really makes a difference. Okay, so I need to fix this area here. Perfect. All right, now my little thin razor. Raphael, as I mentioned, I really loved and preferred your V2, even though I thought both the 24-inch and a half and the 25-inch ultras. I think I will buy this one as well once it's done. Raphael, I'm giving you a free mask. You're not buying this. You're going to get a free mask because you have been my #1 supporter. You really have. Outside the guys that have been helping me sculpt with this, they got free masks because they actually helped me a lot. But when this is all done, I'm sending you a free mask because you have been such a great supporter, and it's my way to say thank you. And I really do really appreciate your support. I really do. I have no idea what it's like to be an artist and then somebody say really they love your work, and then they show it by purchasing. There's a big difference between saying it and doing something, and there's not many people that actually buy. And the Ultra didn't do quite as well as I thought it was going to do. Now it might be because I'm really not good at promoting. I have to get better at it. You know, that's my weak link. But you're getting a free mask, my friend. Raphael has bought, what do you got now? 4 masks? He bought 4 masks for me. He bought 4. I'm pretty sure it was 4, right? Am I correct? And this one here, I think the 24, well, we got pretty big heads. The 24.5 inch is going to fit truly like a 24.5 inch mask with the adjustments that I've made. Raphael has been a huge supporter of my work, and he deserves a free mask. Does everybody agree? And he didn't buy it. He bought my mask at top price. Top price. It wasn't $250. He bought the mask at $600 when I was able to get that kind of money. Raphael, to be honest, in a way, I think the version 1, all you needed to do is work on the lips, and it would have been perfect. Yeah, the scowl needed it, but also the eye cuts needed it. The eye cuts weren't quite, they were too round. The version 1, they were too, let me say, the slants didn't go back far enough. They were like literally like here. You know, the slants were like right here. And it looked too round. It made the face look too flat. It made the face look too flat. That's just my opinion. And I'm an artist, so I kind of, and I'm trying to not go back. I'm also going to bring these slants up just a little bit closer. Not so far back the way they are now. I'm going to bring them in just a little more. There's some things I'm changing on this that aren't done yet. So the weird thing is, when you take these particular pictures I have of the screen used blank mask that's in the book that I bought, these slants, when I line up the picture exactly like that, the shot was taken of the mask, they are identical in the positioning of the eye slant. And that's how I know I'm accurate with the eye slant. The problem I'm having with is the way, you know, I don't know. I'm seeing all these different versions, and it didn't look quite right. Oh, I didn't tell you guys, I got a mannequin. I got a mannequin. And it's in my living room right now. I'm waiting on some LEDs to come because I'm making these eyes. They're going to be intense on the inside. And I'm putting a motion sensor to activate the eyes when somebody walks in front of it. The eyes are going to light up. I'm also doing a motion where it'll follow you. You know, it's going to have a camera in the eye, so it'll follow you. It'll wherever you walk, it's going to look at you. That's what I'm doing. So I don't know, my friend. I'm at the version 2. I love those eye cuts. The version 2. Yeah, the version 2, they're pretty spot on. They're pretty spot on, the version 2. These are really close to it. You're not looking at it. You're not seeing it at the right angle to be able to really, the camera's up a little too high. You know what? Let me lower the camera so you can get a straight on shot of the eye cuts. Because you can't, you're above the eye cuts and you're looking down onto the mask. I should have done that from the beginning. Let's do that. Let's lower this. Let's lower this, and then I'm going to run to the toilet real quick just to go pee. Nope, that's too low. This is a little too, still a little too high. Hold on. No, I'm wrong. I have to go up a little bit because the heads are slanted back. They're leaning back a little bit. Hold on, let me turn the camera or the head's right to you. Gotta have that light on it. Yeah, take a look at that. Now that's a dead-on shot of the new sculpture. Let me use the restroom real quick, and I'll be right back, guys. Be right back. Oh yeah, that thing looks good. When I'm coming in from the room, I'm actually, I can see it. Yeah, way better. That nose is way too long on the other. See, I'm seeing the profile of both of those masks. A little bit on an angle, but man, what a difference. Ooh, man. That's going to be nice. Yeah, man. We're going to have ourselves a beautiful mask when it's all said and done. Let me see what we got here. Let me make sure I didn't bang the camera. Okay. We didn't. I gotta drink my drink. Yeah, well, I mean, you can't really see, but I have taken out, I made this a little bit more rounder, and I brought this in a little bit. That's where it's supposed to be. This here is sticking out way too far out here. The bump is coming out too far here. And this point is supposed to be there. It's actually in the screen used mask. It goes down, but it's carved into that point, but there's a divot that goes beyond that, and it goes down, and it follows this line. It's actually in the mask. And there's these little things that most people don't know, and it's very hard to replicate. Very, very, very hard to replicate. But the sharp and pointy, I'm not sure what you mean. Well, it looks sharp and pointy, but it really isn't. It's rounded. It's rounded in here. But those do come down to a V, the V cut there. It does definitely come down to a V cut. Wish I had the screen used actually. Here. See, this comes down, there's a point there. See it? This is the screen used mask. It's signed by, not screen used, but it's one of the masks that this came from the mold. But you can see, I don't know if you can see it in this camera, but there's a point there, but it's more rounded this way. This is where I have to scoop. I'm gonna get this perfect. I want to get this perfect. And like I said, up in here, there's not a lot going on up above that lip on both sides. I have to make sure that this is dented in and this is dented in, and it's kind of rounded out. But this is the actual mask from the movie mold of the flashback. Now remember, the sculpture is always way bigger than this picture. But that nose is on the money now. Maybe not. I'll have to figure out what you mean. But that's no problem. I have to drink my glucerna because my sugar drops on me. And these things really, really do balance my sugar. You know, and I don't like eating beyond 6 p.m. at night. So I drink one of my glucernas, and it balances my sugars for when I go to bed. I down them, get them in and get it out. I did straighten out this. Didn't like this. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Really definitely trying to refine this thing a lot better. Now you have to remember, this still gets smoothed out with naphtha. So everything you see here is going to be a lot smoother and a lot nicer when it's all said and done. Refining these eye cuts perfectly. Thing is, I'm going off memory because of how many times I've done this. I know exactly how this has to look. And I know where the changes need to take place. So I don't have any pictures outside of looking at this right here to see that. Like, look at that eye cut versus this eye cut. Hold on, let's do it this way. I mean they're smaller. But look how accurate the slants are. Hold on. Glasses don't stay on my head. I am noticing with these eye cuts. They have to slant down more. The left eye cut has to come down a little bit more. Just a touch more. The high point is here, not over here. right, so I gotta look at the high point. Wait a minute, before I do that, let me just make sure that the angle of this is. No, that's right. It's right. I'm looking up the mask like this. I'm a little bit low and I'm looking up. And once I get up in this position, the peak's in the right spot. I have to look directly at it to get it right. Yeah, that's on the money. That is on the money. On the money. The eye cuts are perfect. That you see from the front. Pipe Master, what do you think? We are bringing it in, man. I just got done showing the. Now this isn't the same size. Oh yeah, the nose is on the money. Not changing a thing. Not with that nose. I'm not fucking with that nose. I don't care what anybody says at this point. This is it, man. I've got this thing really, really close. And I think we've got ourselves a real game changer here. I do. I've got the eye cuts perfect. I mean, perfect. I brought this eye slant down just a little bit more. I defined the cut, the seam line here a little better. I have to, wow, man, looking at straight on, it's sick. It's sick. Yeah, I'm still working on the cheeks, so. Now that cheek is on, look. My cheek is, hold on, I gotta turn this here. The problem, I know what the problem is with the cheek. The cheek is bulging a little more on my sculpture. That's why I got to get that. I'm gonna cut the cheek lines. I'm gonna pull these down a little bit. I'm gonna pull down the cheek. They're peaked. They're a little bit too. They're out too far. So I can do that now. I can. looks a lot better. Yeah, it looks a lot better with the cheeks brought back a little bit. Yeah, that nose is on the money now. It really is. Now, I want to, just looking at this picture. Yeah, it looks a lot better now. Raphael, check out that video, but I can't while I'm streaming. As soon as I get off of here, I'm not going to be on much longer because I'm kind of getting tired. And you always have to walk away from your project to get more perspective and balanced. Look at it. What was I going to, I went, oh yeah, this is what I wanted to do. The other thing I'm going to do to these lips that I didn't do the other time is I'm going to put the lines. Instead of painting them in, actually put the lines on the lips. Now, ignore how this looks now. But once I stick naphtha on there and smooth that out, those lines will be there, but they'll be real subtle. You'll barely be able to see them. There's these little things that I wanted to do to this thing, and I'm doing it. Make life a lot easier when I'm painting too. Man, it looks good. Damn, that looks good. A lot of smoothing yet. A lot of smoothing yet. I'm gonna go, you know what? Let Raphael, let me do this. I'm gonna go on my computer right behind me. And I'm gonna look at your message on Messenger. Let me do that real quick. And I think I'm gonna end the stream because I'm getting tired. But let me look at this message it just sent me on Messenger. Raphael. Where you at, Raphael? Skip. Close. See, I can't hear it.
A little bit smoother, almost similar to this one. It seems like a sharp V. as opposed to having it a little bit smoother. Yes, it should come down, but maybe a little bit smoother. Almost similar to this one. As here you can see, it's there, but it's subtle. I mean, you don't see a sharp thing there. You don't really see it sharp. It's like it goes down to a point, but it's smooth. I hope that makes sense. Same with the right cheek, if you notice. It also goes down to a V, but not a sharp V.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Thing is, the camera, it can't show you what's actually on the sculpture. That's the problem. And this lighting is direct lighting. It's hitting you directly. And it is smooth right in here. It rounds out just a little bit, but not, I guess it rounded a little bit more. All right, I have to explain this. All right, the one thing you don't understand about the screen used mask, there's a dent that's right in here. Raphael, there's a dent that's right in here that you have to keep there, all right, because it doesn't look right, and that's why it creates this point right here. It looks like a point, but it really isn't. It's kind of rounded right in here, but there's a dent right there, and that's the way that's supposed to be. And in other words, it's a V. If you follow my finger, the dent is like here and here. It's like this. There's a dent that's supposed to be there that's flattened. It's a flat region right in here, right where my fingers are. All right, and that's what's given this right here, this little point look, because it's flat right in here, like that. And you can't change that. If I hone this in here, you'll lose this dent. You'll lose that look. But if you look at it from like a side view, let me see if you can see that from there. Let me try and turn this thing so you can see it. Nope, that's too far. You see that, if looking at it from like this view, it's real smooth right in here. It's rounded. Let me try and get it positioned right. All right, that's that. Now, to try and show this roundness on this side, trying to get it so it's turned. I really changed it a lot from this. This is way wrong. There's a lot changed on that. I wish I could show it. How do I show that? Well, the only way I can do it is with light. I don't have a flashlight on me. Of course, I can't use the phone. All right. This here, I can draw on this. Yeah, let me do that. Just to show you what I did to this. All right, you see that line that I just drew on there? Hold on. Can you see that? I don't think you can see that. It's not showing up enough. That's how much I brought that cheek line up. I don't know if you can see that or not. And I made it more smooth, and I took away a lot of this cheek that sticks out. It's sticking out way too far. So I cut in more here and rounded this more. Rounded this cut more. It looks straight right here, but it's more round on this sculpture. I can see it. I can see it here. Lighting's terrible. I gotta put the lighting in better tomorrow. I'm gonna reposition the lights so they look better. All right, so I'm calling it a night because I'm getting tired, and I've been sculpting pretty much all day today. But totaling, I'm just playing a little bit here and playing a little bit there. I walk away for an hour or two and come back, go back and forth with it. All right, well, let's determine right cheek versus left cheek. Right cheek, left cheek. Checkmark cheek is the left side. If you're wearing the mask, it's the right side. But looking at it, I always go by what I'm looking at on screen. So the right side, left side. It's too confusing to try and like, oh, because people don't know what you're talking about. If you're looking at the right, this is the right side on the screen, on the camera. This is the left side. If you're wearing a mask, it's the opposite. But I want to oh my goodness. It's a long day, guys. I start my mornings probably between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning normally. I can't take that peak down. That's the problem. I can't lose this here. Cannot lose that because that's in the sculpture. That is actually part of that's the problem. I smooth that out too much, and then you end up with a, hold on, let me see if I can do it with a different tool. Anyway, I gotta get better positioned here. Move the tools, move this thing closer to me because it's driving me nuts. I'm trying to reach across for it all the time. I'm just moving clay there. tomorrow I gotta put naphthalene on this to really. Actually, you know what? I might do it now. I gotta find my naps. I think I put it on the shelf over there. Okay. No. A little bit of clay. Right here. Stay still. know I'm blocking your view. As you can see, I'm getting there. All right, I gotta find my naphtha. I'm not ready for the eyebrows, so no point in doing those. But that's as far as I'm going with it because I don't like it to be point in doing the back, just the face. Okay. Now, because gotta make sure that that seam is really defined in the corner of the eye. Will you sculpt a Halloween 3 Season of the Witch skull mask one day? I doubt it. RBH, I'm not really sure I would even go into that. Just not a fan of it. I hated that movie, and I'll tell you why. I'm an old guy, and us old guys, we went to that theater to see Halloween with Michael Myers in it. Halloween 3 with Michael Myers in it. Well, the minute we saw Michael Myers on the TV in one of the scenes, and we realized Michael Myers wasn't even going to be part of this movie, got up and walked out of the theater. Didn't care. I was so pissed off because I felt like they sold it to us as, you know, Halloween 3. And then they snuck in that Season of the Witch. And it pissed off a lot of people, especially Michael Myers fans. Like, you know, the Halloween just wasn't, should have never used the title Halloween. Just should have called it Season of the Witch. But they capitalized on the popularity of Halloween, and they basically used the title to fake people out. And when we got to the theater, I mean, I wasn't the only one too. It was a lot of people booing the screen and everything. Oh my God, it was unreal. Pissed off a lot of fans. The movie turned out to be a good movie. I'm not knocking the movie. The movie was good, but it's the way they sold it to us that pissed everybody off. And I don't foresee myself actually making one of those masks because I just don't. I don't like them. I'm sticking to the Myers and also original monsters eventually. I don't think I'm gonna go outside of Michael Myers. I really enjoy Michael Myers because it's such a hard challenge. It really is a challenge. And it is a very big challenge for sure. Michael Myers is tough. He ain't easy. He ain't easy. All right, once I smooth that out, that's gonna look a lot better, but the scowl still needs a lot of work. Okay. All right, let me find my naphtha. Okay, well, John Carpenter originally planned for the Halloween franchise to be a series of different stories. Yeah, I'm not bashing the movie. I didn't think the movie was all that bad. Once I seen it later on, after I got over the pissed off, you know, once I got over myself being pissed off, we went back and saw the movie. I'm sorry I'm lethargic, man. I'm just really tired. Oh, I need more water. But first, let me get my mask out. Shut this door. Oh, I do have it shut. Okay, okay. I gotta open up this other door. Damn it. I gotta turn the fan around and blow this air going out. I gotta find my naphtha first before I can do anything. And once, damn it, I know I got a jar of it sitting here. I got a jar of naphtha hiding from me. I think I put it up here. Aha! I found it. I found it. Okay, so before I go and do all that, I'm just going to put my tools away. Actually, just going to put them down here. Clean them early later. I got to open up my door over here. Turn my fan around. Now you're going to hear the fan for a few minutes. Oh, it's breezy out there. I love it. I'm going to move the fan where it needs to be. Need the fan over here. Okay. It's not perfect yet. Wait a minute. Okay, that's heading out the door now. Whew. Just don't want that naphtha in my face. I really don't. I gotta put my gloves on. Put my mask on. Gloves, gloves, gloves. I need my gloves. Okay. You'll see a significant change here. So I'm going to be muddy because I got the mask on my face. So bear with me. Now the first coat I put on here went melt the clay. I gotta melt the clay. You'll see much more definition in this once I do this. The reason why I want to do this tonight is because tomorrow I want to start stuffing again.
Rip it. Squeeze it out. This also reveals a lot of the imperfections, so I can see what I need to carve away or add. Now what I can see already, I gotta take this bump down a lot more. A lot more. Good old-fashioned naphtha. Basically, naphtha is nothing but lighter fluid. Now, this melts the very surface of the clay. Well, it doesn't soften the whole clay, just the surface. It gets all the imperfections out from your tools. It also reveals, it takes that shine off the mask, off the clay, and you can see a lot more of the definition. You can see where you have to sculpt skull and what you have to do. You don't learn the art of smoothing never be able to do a Michael Myers. And that. Still gotta put the bubble in the corner, but I'm not doing that until the last bit. I can't stick a tool on this anymore because once I do that, gotcha, RBH. Okay, I got you. Wet clay is a water-based clay. This is an oil-based clay. I like oil-based clay because I can sculpt and walk away and they come back constantly. Wet clay is for an artist that's really fast. He can knock out a sculpt in a couple hours. It's very soft. This is very hard. I like monster clay. It's the best for what I like making. This is called monster clay. You can get it from monstermakers.com. It's like $40 a tub. 4.5 pound tub is 40 bucks. You need about 20 pounds to do a head like this. Well, that's pretty much it for now. I can't really do too much more. That just gives you a real general idea of what it looks like. Let me position it so you can see it dead on now. Back to where it was. Yeah, I think this is going to be really nice. I think this mask is going to be on the money. Alright, napkins there. Gloves off. I always take my mask off last because I let the air, let all this napkin fumes get out of the room. I get all my gloves. A lot of the stuff I use, I get it at a Harbor Freight. I still think it's the best place in the world for this kind of stuff. We're not done yet, because I got to lower this top lip a little bit more. It's got to come down a little bit. This one's right where it has to be. This one's got to come down just a touch. I don't want the peaks exactly the same height. Wow, that looks really good, man. I'm excited. from this sculpture. We're not done yet. We're gonna refine this thing perfectly. I want this thing to look really close to the original mask, or to the screen used mask. Yeah, that looks good. This needs to be refined more. Can't have that bump that hard. Looks too much. Too much. Gotta come down a lot.
Now, hopefully I don't smell gas for the next 2 days. I'll let it blow out quite a bit. Yeah, I'll have to take this bump down a little bit more. It still needs to come down a little bit, but I added more because there just wasn't enough there. It'll look good when I'm done. Woo! I have enough silicone to make a master copy of this. So when this is done, I'm going to make a master clay copy of this in silicone. And this, I got to rename this. I don't know. I'm not going to call it Ultimate. Not going to call it Ultra. What can we call it? I'm not going to do Ultra 2. I want to give it its own name. Something in reference to, and I mean, I'm not there yet. Something in reference to absolutely screen accurate, on the money. 1 for 1. Maybe that's what we'll do. 1-1. That's what we're going to do. We're going to call it 1-1. 1 for 1. Actually, maybe instead of dash, I'll put 1 for 1. In other words, number 1, number 4, and number 1. Not FOU, not FOR, but number 4. I'll do 1 for 1. That's going to be the name of this mask. 1 for 1. What do you think? Good name? One for 1. That's what we're calling this. and it's too soft to be touching it yet. Yeah, we're going to call this 1 for 1. Got the dip in the lip perfect. It goes down deeper on this side versus this side, but it's very subtle. It's not real far, but there's a difference. This is Custom Corpses 1 for 1 FB78. That's what we're calling it. Matter of fact, I got to write that down. I like that name. That's pretty funny. 1 for 1. All right, guys. I'm going to bounce. I'm going to get off of here. Get some sleep. Get some shut-eye. You guys have a good night. I'll see you on the next stream. I'll update you in the next day or two. Show you where I'm at. All right, peace. Good night.